Good morning. And today's going to be 9-8 of spades. In this hand, we have an early position player that opens for 3 big blinds, and I 3-bet. So this player is playing 22-16. We look at him, looks like it's 21% VPIP, 13% raise first in stat. He's got a 3-bet. He has, as I look at pre-flop, raise with previous limpers. So I think that's going to be the 3-bet and the raise with previous limpers that gets us up to the 21. I'm guessing he's probably like a 17% range, and you can see like mid positions 11%. But notice the sample sizes. We change this to 3 out of 19. It's going to have an effect on your percentages. It's going to drop it down closer to like 17 or so. So I think we're targeting about 17. So this is it, and it's a start. I'm including ace, king, aces, kings, queens, ace, king, everything. We're including all of that right now because when I 3-bet, he calls. So his calling range, I think, could include some ace, king. So I scale those at 50%. Same thing with the queens. I have notes that have his 3-bet range as queens to kings and then ace, king off. So it's entirely possible that he can make these as 4-bet, but now with the 4-bet, it's a little bit tighter. I kind of think aces and kings will always be at 4-bet range. Then I'm also going to take out some of these weaker hands here. I think maybe he could call with like 8, 9, 10, 9. Maybe not. I don't think most players call with those. We'll leave 10, 9 in here. I don't think these offsuits call. Maybe he'll call with ace, jack. I'm going to take out those. I'm going to take out ace 2, ace 3. I'm going to leave him with a range that looks something like that. All right, so that's his range. What about my range? My range, this is a 3-better call range. That's our 3-bet range. So you could say it's this, eights to aces, jack 10 suited, or better suited broadways, ace 10 suited. Well, not all suited broadways, so just like king jack, queen jack, ace jack, and so forth. Because we're including queens plus ace queen plus as well. But that's not. You can see that the 9-8 wasn't in my range, so I don't know what was going on. It's possible that since I've been so tight and since I've recognized the villain 5 is tight, that I went ahead and tossed in just a couple hands, just kind of as a bluff, just to see what's going to happen. I am in late position. I'm in hijack. So, I mean, we could call. I just think this is a loose play here. Probably not one that I should be doing at all. Maybe you can mix it in, but definitely not one that we should be doing on a regular basis. So I don't really like this play. You can see my stack at 261, so it's entirely possible that I've hit some decent hands when I've played, or people have I've shown down some monster of hands, and maybe I'm just trying to take advantage of my image. We have 92 hands here, so you can see that I really haven't been playing a whole lot, especially button cutoff. So anyways, don't really care for it. So the flop comes down queen 7-5. Oops, hold on. I think I missed. I think it was the 7 of spades. 7 of spades and 5 of hearts. All right, so we have a gut shot is what we flopped. I fully expect villain 5 to check. I kind of expect him to check raise sets if he has them. I think for us, when we look at hands, especially semi-bluff hands, you can see that we do have gut shot, and that's about it. That's about our only semi-bluff hand. We have some backdoor flush draws, so that means we're going to probably have to throw in some like of these bottom pairs, second cards. We're going to probably have to throw in some of these over cards. Let's see what his fold c-bet stats actually fairly low, and that's probably because he's a tighter player. 33% when he's out of position, 50% when he's in position. So I think when we look at like our 2-card backdoor flush draws, I think we're looking at like 9-8, think 10-9, Jack 10's probably in there. King Jack, Ace Jack, Ace King, Ace 10. I think those are all going to be hands that we kind of do our c-bet with. I think our value is definitely a set overpair. I think we're going to probably be some top pair. I think probably all top pair. And I think on this, we can probably bet like 1/3 pot. So just top pair plus, you can see that we're at 25.69, which probably means that we're going to have more of these hands in here. So we're already at 61%. How come? These are kind of like somewhat values. I'm kind of thinking that we're probably, since we 3-bet this, we're probably going to be c-betting. I mean, the queen really does hit him a lot. So I just kind of feel like we're going to be c-betting a lot of these hands. So maybe 83%, and that probably breaks it down fairly well between value and bluff. I mean, we still have like all these no-made hands that didn't even connect. So that the diamonds basically. But I think that's probably going to be our c-bet, and it should be about a 1/3 pot. I think this was a little. I'd say maybe a 1/3 pot because it's kind of a dry board, and we could be behind that queen. I think we're getting folds from, let's say Jack 10 just as frequently with a smaller bet as if we bet larger. So that's why I kind of think it's a 3rd bet, and we'll run some GTO. We'll see what it looks like. So I did make the bet. Villain calls. What's he calling with? I think a lot of times he's probably going to call with any of those pairs. Probably we're going to have to give him, let's give him the Ace King. Let's give him the Ace Jack hands, King Jack hands. I guess we'll give him that. Well, yeah. Maybe not the Ace Jack, King Jack, but I think we've got, he's with his pairs and so forth. We'll do that. We'll just keep it at that 59%. So he called, so I think he's probably has some sort of pair. Ace Hearts comes out. That could actually help me. I think that makes a barreling card for us. Villain checks. And I think we still have the gut shot. I wish it was a spade, but it isn't. So I think here we're still betting with our sets. I think we're going with our 2 pair, and I probably think we're betting with our top pair, but I think we're checking now with like the kings, the queens, pocket pair less than the top card. I think we're checking with those. We're going to probably have to increase it, add some of these, like the weak pairs, I think, just to get a little bit more balance. And then maybe jacks, 8s, something like that. That's gonna get us there. If it's jacks, it puts more like King Jack hands, Jack 10 hands in villain's range. If he was calling those, but I think that's gonna be probably our barreling range. So I think 8-9 would be a barrel, and I think at this point we're probably at about a half pot bet. So I didn't think we probably missed this. Let's X that out. X that out. X that out. We'll put the rest in here. All right, so check 29%. I don't like this play. I think we should have bet. Because if we bet, then we could always just check behind on the turn. But I think that ace helps us. I think if we were betting with Ace King or Ace Jack, we would make that bet again. I mean, that's if he's calling with 8s or 9s or 10s, or 6s. Yeah, I could see him calling once, but then once that ace comes, I don't see him calling again. So he checks here, and I check behind. I think at this point, we're done. I don't mind the check based on my checking range because I still have queens, king queen and queen jack. I still have some of these pocket pairs. Maybe we can go for a little bit of value because of some of the hands that he might have. But if we think about what is he calling with, I think we'll split like the queens. Maybe he calls with those. So out of his calling range, then we beat 43%. We're probably tying 27%, and he's beating us 29%. I think it's probably going to be close to whether or not we're going to get a little bit of value from our pairs, like our middle pair hands. So I check behind. He shows jacks, which was kind of the range. That was definitely in his range. Pocket pair less than the top card, and that's why I think if we bet the turn, I think it's going to be harder for him to call with the jacks at that point because now we have both a queen and an ace on there on a hand that I 3-bet an early position player. I should have a strong hand myself, and I need to represent that. So that was bad. I think this is a poorly played hand from start to finish. So we're gonna take a quick note, and then we're gonna look at GTO. So he RFI 3 big blinds and call hijack 10 big blind. 3-bet from EP2. He's out of position, check called, 50%, check on queen of clubs, 7 spades, 5 hearts, ace of hearts, 2 of diamonds. All right, let us take a look at GTO. Set it up so he checks, and now it's on us. We are betting like 90%. It's split between the small size and the bigger size. It looks like we are favoring the smaller size with the exception of maybe some of these. 8 kings, aces, ace king. Maybe go larger. 9-8 can go larger. 8s could go larger. 7, 6, and 5. So 9-8, I mean, it is, we're betting. So I kind of expected, as we were working out our value and bluffing range, it started to make sense that we were going to be betting. So let's go ahead and do 50% like I did. And villain called. So it looks like our c-bet was okay. It looks like our sizing was probably okay too. Although I think it's possibly better to go down. Probably good to just kind of go down to the smaller size. So ace of hearts comes out, he checks, and then we're betting 46%. That is, it looks like we are betting a lot of those hands. We should be betting, I think I was about 50%. Let's go back to the turn, or to the river. Here, this was us. I guess we were checking, so about 60%, so maybe a little bit more than what it should be. So 5s, we're still betting those. We should still be betting the 9-8 with the diamonds and the clubs. Looks like the hearts and the spades we can check, but there are definitely some bets there. I personally think we should be betting a little bit more. We're balancing with aces, ace kings. So some of our aces are actually checks here. Some of our ace kings are checks, and that's kind of interesting. I think that's just going to help protect some of the rest of our checking range to kind of protect against the bluffs. So I'm kind of getting from this that we probably are betting a little bit more than what we should be, and that includes those 9-8s. So I checked. This last card. 2 of diamonds. 2 of diamonds comes out next. Check. He checks. Yeah, I didn't expect we were going to be bluffing with our 9-8. We're betting with 8s. one of those bluff ranges. We're betting with aces, ace king, ace jack. So we're probably on the right path. In any case, I think we kind of got us into some trouble by playing the way we did, as loose as we did initially. I think we kind of missed out on picking up the hand by checking the turn. We still had the gut shot. We still could have improved. And definitely on versus pairs like this, he's going to be scared now. So hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another one.